everything's the same medical here. Quick turnaround. So we'll see how what version of Haas we get. And then Sam's been added just with a back. He's got some just back spasms, and he's the only from the game, which he did not. He was limited today. So see where that goes with him.
With that trio of seniors, was there a meeting like you had? I remember just 2 years ago talking about like Adama, Andre, and Jordan. Did they have that sort of meeting going into this year?
No, there wasn't. A meeting with Samson and Hassan, I'd imagine. I just think at the time at the conclusion of 22 season and how it ended and there was obviously there was roster construction, there was actual leadership that there was just a conversation that needed to be had with those three like awesome players, and things where there was going to be changes around them, and I was kind of giving them the courtesy of knowing that there was going to be a lot of changes around them, and that they had to lead that they had to be the big three, and so I just, because of where the program's been, I think it's just that mantle has just been passed to those guys, and they didn't need to necessarily have a conversation. It was assumed that they would just take it and lead.
You happy with the way that it's all sort of blossomed around them as far as like the team chemistry and everything?
Yeah, just what they've accomplished in their career. I mean, I don't know how long you could stand for a standing ovation for players that have delivered you. I mean, most, you're obviously spoiled here in basketball, especially in the last 25, 30 years. So most places, if they get a sniff of a Final Four, if they win one national championship in a long span of time, it's incredible. I mean, they have a chance tomorrow night to honor back-to-back champions. I mean, no one wins one, never mind back-to-back. So you hope that that the crowd is there early and, not only celebrates, those two guys. I know Alex is, with any guy that is graduating, we do this even if they have eligibility. So obviously it should be the crowd, from celebrating what they've done to impacting the game the way they did against Marquette. We need both tomorrow.
Dan, why does everyone get such a kick out of Samson? Love that kid so much.
He's like one of the best human beings you'll ever come across. Humility, work ethic, just being about team, and he's just a sweetheart of a guy who worked his tail off. He's he's waited his turn. He's pushed hard. I mean, he's just like as good a human being as you'll just ever come across. Sports, outside of sports. I mean, he's the most beloved guy that we've probably had here since we've been here.
He's had an interesting journey, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think of it? I mean, 4 years goes by quick.
I mean, even before that, I mean, just in school and Kentucky and then Jersey, and literally when we went to go recruit Adama, and you see him there, and you're like, I want that guy too. And I mean, it's just the injury to start sophomore year, junior, sophomore,
Freshman and sophomore year, I think.
Freshman and sophomore year, held him back.
When Alex emerged.
But particularly that sophomore year when he was actually starting the opener, and if I could recall, but
Very first game.
yeah, Sam's awesome, and Sam will be, sometimes some of these guys, they can see it, they'll be even better in pro ball than they were in college. Sometimes in pro ball, it's easier to score than it is in college. The rules of they play defense in this, particularly sometimes even in the NBA, as great as those players are, it's like because of the spacing and the illegal defense, I think Sam's going to get a real shot there.
you mentioned the back-to-back national champs, obviously, but coming into this year, did you feel like there was sort of a sense of those three wanted to do it on their own, maybe? Or writing another chapter?
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, like last year too, it's like a team. There's been a lot of pressure on Hassan and Samson and Alex this year, way more than like last year was more of a collective. I mean, we were incredibly strong across the board and deep and confident, and we had done it, and we had lost so many players the last 2 years that this year there's just been so much pressure on those three guys to lead, because even the sophomore class, they played, but they weren't in the roles that Samson and Alex and Hassan have been in. So, yeah, they've had more on their shoulders to like lead the team than the last two teams' players had to.
You kind of intimated this the other day, so I'll ask. Obviously, Haas and Samson, it's over tomorrow here, but there's probably a few other guys, right, who are probably the last game tomorrow, whether it's NBA or you even mentioned the portal. I mean, how do you handle that? I assume you wait till after the season, but do you have a grasp on potentially who or I don't know?
You try. You are obviously meeting and talking and the game has changed so much now, relative to retention and then who's going to leave, and so those conversations are being had on as part of your day. Obviously, you're desperately just trying to stay focused on the next opponent, the next game. But I think you have a general idea of those things and places where you need to get stronger. People that you think, that you believe will be back or know will be back or have a sense will look for a change of scenery. That's why I think your focus, is, for us, just even the last couple of weeks and even, probably for over a month or so has been like, just like we have an awesome group of guys on this team, like don't tarnish that by all those things, the portal, NIL, valuation, and, like the last thing Alex needs to think about tomorrow is, the NBA, and whether he's coming back to school or not. Is this my last game? I think, those are conversations that we'll have when the season's over in a real responsible, reasonable. I mean, the good thing about the people that we've had in the program is, I think for the most part, people have been making the right moves. I think people that should leave or was in their best interest to leave, either NBA or portal, have made those decisions, and it's been better for them. And then the people that have stayed have made the right choices. And we always, we tell them honestly what we think they should do and what it would be like if they stayed.
Probably one or two guys who maybe kind of surprised you a little bit that they left. Is that fair to say, without naming names? Or?
I would say one since I've been here. Okay. I would say one since I've been here, and that's it. That's going to the NBA, or one that was surprising. I would say the rest of them, made sense for both parties. I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
I have to do one or two more just to make sure we get Samson in.
Speaking of Samson, you mentioned his gentle personality that comes across. He's pretty chippy on the court.
He is. Yeah, I mean, he's always up. That's what I think. He plays with a motor and a desperation, and I think that's. There's obviously been a lot of conversation about the two centers this year, and with just how he starts a game, and you never have to worry about him being ready to play. I mean, he's always ready to play. He gives you absolute everything he's got, every single possession, and you can't assume that you're getting that from players. You don't get that from most of your players. I mean, you have great players that don't give you that every possession, and he's just given us that every possession. I think his numbers would be even better this year. I think he's been probably hurt a little bit offensively, and not quite having the 6'5" Tristan, 6'6" Steph Castle throwing him those lobs the way we've had the last couple of years. Cam Spencer, 6'4", grown man. So he's battled so hard, and the team wouldn't be in the position we're in without how hard he's gone for us on a daily basis. Is kept us afloat.
Last game at Gamble, and you had mentioned last time that you didn't think you'd played very well against major teams here at Gamble. Was it nice to see the performance you guys put forth last game just to get things rolling here?
Yeah, I just thought I thought we ended the half bad. I thought we were we got up 6 or 8 or something, and then went into halftime down. So there was we all made a beeline for the locker room and just went crazy on the guys. I mean, we were really disappointed. I mean, it was it's not like we had a dead atmosphere. I mean, the crowd the crowd the other day was probably as good as it's been at Gamble this year. I think they helped us play better. They helped Marquette play worse, and that's what you need from a great home crowd when you have kind of a team in a season like we had this year, where you need that extra to put you over the top. Where they're not kind of disappointed that the crowd didn't kind of watch the game kind of looking and wondering or disappointed. Hey man, where are the lob dunks and the NBA threes and the 30-0 runs? Like the crowd the other day was like. They willed us to it. They helped us play better. They helped them help Marquette play a little worse, and that's what we need from them tomorrow. And the guys, I think obviously the players deserve that. Tomorrow's a big game for us to try to get to 14-6 in the league, and in a down year, I guess for us, a year where we stink, to be able to get to 14-6 in the league would be good for us.